What is our mission? Basically, we want to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful.
On the one hand, it was a perfect description of what we were trying to accomplish in search. And yet, it was also so broad as to leave the door open for all of the many, many directions we wanted to go in the future.
AI has been an important way we approach our mission, powering so many products people use every day.
I don't think any of us possibly could have seen where this story was.
Imagine an AI system that could help predicting skin cancer
or catch diabetic retinopathy.
How can machine learning models better predict natural disasters to help save more lives?
If we can reliably predict protein structures using AI, that could change the way we understand the natural world.
What if people with special needs can communicate using their eyes, dramatically improving their lives? Or intervention and care are provided to expecting mothers just at the right time.
It's not just coming up with a great technology-enabled solution that helps people, but helping people at scale.
I still think this is only the tip of the iceberg. We're not even scratching the surface yet of what is possible.
At Google, we believe that AI can provide new ways of approaching problems and meaningfully improve people's lives. And we're just getting started.
Good afternoon, everyone. 30 years ago, when I first started out as a computer scientist, the field itself, and especially concepts like AI, were new. As the video shows, we live in a wonderful age where computing and AI can make a tangible difference to society, solving some of our biggest challenges. 3 years ago, we started Google Research India with the mission to solve uniquely Indian challenges and create meaningful impact for 1 billion Indians. And much has happened since. Today, I'm excited to share with you the strides we have made alongside our partners, where AI can help better lives every day. So let's talk about our work in 3 key areas. First, languages, agriculture, and healthcare. We believe technology has to be developed such that it is helpful for everyone. A laborer's daughter in Chhattisgarh who dreams of being an IAS officer should be able to access knowledge as easily as those who speak English in her native language and even dialect. Over the years, we have made some meaningful progress towards this vision. Gboard, for instance, allows you to type in over 60 Indian languages. Underrepresented languages like Maithili and even Sanskrit are supported by Google Translate. And models like Mural that our teams have developed can help understand complex queries in over 16 Indian languages. But we know there is more to be done. Recently, we announced an ambitious research project to build a model that will support the top 1,000 languages of the world. I'm proud to share the chapter of this work that is being done in India for India. The inspiration for this project came from a saying we learned back in school. Kos kos pe badle pani, char kos par vani. A nation of over 1.4 billion people, we speak over 1,500 languages, all in different dialects and accents. It is likely that we will all have a different version of the same simple sentence based on where we come from. I tried it out with a few folks and asked them to say, Pragati Maidan, kaise jaye? Let's hear them.
प्रगति मैदान कहाँ को बजाएं?
प्रगति मैदान जाएंगे कैसे? प्रगति मैदान कैसे जाएं?
ये प्रगति मैदान कैसे जाएंगे रे?
प्रगति मैदान कैसे जाए?
प्रगति मैदान केना जाए?
To build an AI-based model, that understood all these nuances across multiple languages, we would first need to understand those nuances ourselves and then train our models on inclusive data set representing this diversity. So, in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Science, or ISC, we have embarked on a journey called Project Vani, where ISC will aim to collect speech data from people across 773 districts of India. It's my pleasure to now invite the ISC Director, Professor Govindan Rangarajan, to share more about the work already underway.
Good afternoon. We are pleased to collaborate with Google on Project Vani, an effort that is fundamental to creating inclusive AI technology that truly reflects India. Vani is a unique initiative, and the data produced by it will be one of its kind. The support from Google is crucial for meeting Vani's goal of scaling the project pan-India. Art Park at IAC is a strategic execution partner in this journey. Over the past few months, we have already gathered data from nearly 69 of the 773 districts across India. In fact, it covers Indian states such as Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, etc. So far, we have collected nearly 150 hours of data covering more than 30 languages from 841 different PIN codes in a gender and age-balanced manner. This also includes some of the endangered tribal languages such as Haibi. Vani data covers speakers coming from a wide range of education and socioeconomic backgrounds. We have already started open sourcing this data by our website, and we also hope to add it to Bhashini, India's national language translation mission. We are very excited and hopeful to see the helpful technology Vani enables. Thank you. I'll now hand it back to Manish.
Thank you, Professor Rangarajan. We look forward to working with you and our partners towards an inclusive Indian web. While Vani will allow us to learn about India's diversities, I'm happy to share we've already started work on the next big leap for Indian language models. We have an ambitious goal to build a single unified model to cover over 100 Indian languages for both speech and text. This will pave a more inclusive experience for many more Indian language speakers in the coming years. Next, let's talk about agriculture, a space that provides livelihood to roughly half of India, with the potential to impact millions. Multiple challenges exist. Take the case of money, a farmer who has applied for a loan against the rice she hopes to grow this year. Securing this loan requires a bank to send someone to verify her small land holding and ensure that she is growing rice. Then estimate how much will actually grow, considering factors like rain, soil, sunlight, and more. Now imagine a reality where the bank could easily access key information authorized by money about her farm. This would enable easier access to farmer credit, insurance, and more, unlocking tremendous opportunities. The first step to realizing this vision of digital agriculture is being able to identify where the farms are and what they grow. I'm thrilled to share that our teams are using our remote sensing technology and advanced AI capabilities to develop a model that can give a holistic overview of India's agricultural landscape. Please welcome my colleague Amandeep Kaur to share more.
Thank you, Manish. I'm super excited to showcase the first demo of our landscape understanding model. Let's go a few kilometers north of our Google office in Bangalore, where the model was developed. Clearly, the landscape starts to change and it's hard to tell things apart. Our model processes this satellite image and can identify fields down to their shape. Not just fields, it can also identify natural and man-made water bodies. Here you see the ponds in this area. The system can also identify tree canopy for a complete landscape understanding of a region. In the months ahead, the model will also be able to detect specific events for each field, like when a crop was sown, harvested, and more. Eventually, this technology can be expanded to also classify the crops in each farm. We can't wait for Money and millions more like her to benefit from Digital India.
Telangana State has recently piloted this model. Let's hear from Ms. Rama Devi, Director of Emerging Technology for Telangana State, on how this model is now in use.
Hello everyone. With the advent of the fourth industrial revolution or Industry 4.0, way back in 2017, we set up a vertical in emerging technologies in Telangana and have since been focusing on areas like AI and cloud. One area where we can really unlock potential is agriculture. There are about 6 million farmers in Telangana and an estimated 100 million in the rest of the country. And we are implementing some very exciting projects in the state for them. At a foundational level, we are planning to set up a data exchange platform which will initially focus on agriculture. Think about it as comparable to UPI, a thin interface or a platform that serves as a transaction layer where different data providers, be it governments, startups, research institutes, and others that have relevant data to offer, can do so for others in the ecosystem to utilize in meaningful ways. The work done by the Google team will be a critical part of this. It will enable agriculture solutions at a field level that can benefit participants across the value chain. The potential is undoubtedly exciting.
Thank you, Ms. Rama Devi. While we solve for the future, we realize the value of existing tools that can positively impact farmer outcomes today, which is why we are happy to announce a new $1 million grant to Vadhwani AI via google.org to support their deployment of AI-based solutions to improve agricultural outcomes. Now, let's look at an area we are deeply focusing on, healthcare. From working with local partners such as Arman on building AI solutions to help reach over 1 lakh mothers with timely information during their pregnancy journeys, to now consulting with pharmacists on that ubiquitous piece of paper, the humble prescription. We all know too well, prescriptions are mostly handwritten, hard to read, and even harder to remember. Pharmacists seem like magicians to me. So we asked one of them to help us understand how prescriptions are decoded. Let's watch.
प्रिस्क्रिप्शन जब मिलती है तो उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें लिखी होती हैं, मेडिकल हिस्ट्री, लैब्स के अनेक टेस्ट, अलग अलग रीडिंग्स। तो पहले आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि दवाई का नाम कहाँ लिखा है। दवाइयों को आइडेंटिफाई करने में नॉर्मली हम उसका सबसे पहला लेटर और लास्ट लेटर को देखते हैं। अक्सर डॉक्टर अपनी डायग्नोज भी लिखते हैं। फिर जो कॉमन वाली दवाइयाँ हैं उनका नाम तो हम पहचान ही लेते हैं, जैसे कि एंटीबायोटिक के साथ नॉर्मली एंटासिड भी लिख दिया जाता है। एक्चुअली एक्सपीरियंस के साथ साथ डॉक्टरों का भी लिखने का स्टाइल समझ आ जाता है। यह जो सी आप देख रहे हैं ये एक्चुअली एल है, यानी कि लोनज है। तो ऐसे ही हम अपने एक्सपीरियंस की गारंटी देते हैं कि आपको गलत प्रिस्क्रिप्शन कभी नहीं मिलेगी।
Wow. Thanks, Sanjay ji. So my team and I wondered how we could take this complex process and make it simpler. I'm happy to share we have come up with an AI capabilities to assist with medical document digitization. So let me show you how our model works. Let's take this copy of my prescription, open a camera, and point at it. Let's see if our model can highlight the medicines correctly. Okay, what happened? There you go. The first one is correctly identified as Alifix alongside all the others. While the initial results have been heartening, much work still remains to be done before the system is ready for the real world. To tell you more about the work we do in the space of healthcare and AI, please welcome Vikram Bedi.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vikram Bedi, and I'm the Managing Director for Google Cloud in India. It's such a pleasure to be here. At Google Cloud, we are working with organizations to help them accelerate their digital transformations to solve for real-world business challenges. We are also very passionate about using technology to improve human life. At Google Cloud, we are working across industries: retail, gaming, security, financial service, and a host of others, where we are helping them transform their journeys, their digital transformation journeys, atop open networks to bring value to 1.4 billion Indians. Today, I wanted to share with you a little bit about the healthcare space, where we are using Google Cloud AI/ML technologies to innovate. Now, if you look at the healthcare space, technology adoption has been happening. There have been significant advancements in the last few years. But using AI/ML technologies in the connected world, that's still at nascent stages. Let's hear from Dr. Sangeeta Reddy, the Joint Managing Director for Apollo Hospitals, on how they are collaborating with Google Cloud to help provide accessible and equitable healthcare. Can we have the video, please?
Over 4 decades, Apollo has emerged as a beacon of hope for people in India and patients worldwide, actually from 141 countries. We ushered in a concept of clinical excellence and also birthed the private healthcare sector in the country, which now serves more than 60% of India's medical needs. Let me share with you one of our most exciting ventures, Apollo 24/7. It brings the entire Apollo within the reach of every customer on their mobile phone. We all believe that care is shifting from the hospital to the clinic, from the clinic to the home, and from the home to a 24/7 ubiquitous access to care enabled by your mobile phone. And all these will enable a better ecosystem of care. We're happy we're partnering with Google, looking at AI and ML models, finding ways to understand conversational medicine. And this is where so many of the technologies of Google come in, so that an individual can just speak, talk to their healthcare partner. We use and encapsulate the power and the knowledge of Apollo, put this into the technology backbone, and be able to help people. It's as simple and as complex as that. Let me bring some of this conversation alive in a real world situation for you. Do you know that there are 23 lakh individuals in our country with tuberculosis? TB is something we thought we cured a long time ago. So we're working with Google on an AI piece where the X-ray images are analyzed. And many healthcare institutions around the world have doctors who can encapsulate their knowledge into an AI module. So this project has the ability to, at the touch of a button, every X-ray being viewed by a radiologist anywhere in the world, you'll be able to say yes TB, no TB. These are the type of projects that we are excited to be working with Google on, and look forward to further enhancements. So may your technology capability continue to grow. May the passion to work in healthcare continue. I'm extremely happy that we're finding ways to work together to serve humanity.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Along with Apollo, we are building a clinical intelligence platform that helps doctors not just solve for common disorders, but also rare diseases using the Google Cloud AI/ML technologies. The Google Cloud data platform is managing the data of 14 million patients to understand them better and then to serve them better. And last but not least, the ecosystem is now widening because insights that are available are data-based clinical insights. So the trust between patients and doctors is significantly bigger. Dr. Reddy said it's as simple as that and as complex. We at Google Cloud are passionate about democratizing technology, making it simple to drive innovation and positively impact businesses as well as consumers. We're also super excited to be a part of India's digital journey. Let's solve for tomorrow, today. Thank you. Back to you, Manish.
Thank you, Vikram. We've seen how AI can have a transformative impact, but key to all of this is a responsible approach. That's why in 2018, we became the first major company to release and operationalize a set of AI principles. Concrete standards focused on fairness, safety, privacy, and accountability. If AI is to deliver on its potential, it is imperative that we collectively earn the trust of the people whose lives it touches. As we build for India, local partners, and especially critical to ensure that we reflect the country's cultural nuances. That's why I'm proud to announce that Google has invested $1 million in grants to IIT Madras to establish the first of its kind multidisciplinary center for responsible AI. Thank you. And to share more on our work on AI and fairness in India, please welcome Sapna Chadha.
Thanks, Manish. For me, what really stands out is the commitment we make in all of our work towards inclusion. And that's why the assurance of the second of our responsible AI principles is so important. Avoid creating or reinforcing unfair bias. When we talk of bias, one of the most pronounced and prevalent ones is that around gender, a lot of which is attributed to data gaps. In fact, most of recorded history is one big data gap with women missing. And this also plays out on the internet. In India, women's use of the internet lags men's by as much as over 30%. With a mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful, we have a responsibility for technology to be equitable and inclusive for women. Over the last decade, we at Google in India have invested in ensuring that the gender gap in the digital world gets fixed. And we're proud to say that we made an ambitious commitment towards this and making sure that we could make a difference in having a real important initiative to bridge the online gender divide in rural India. Launched in collaboration with Tata Trust, through Internet Sati, over 30 million women in rural India, spread across 300,000 villages, made their first forays into the world of digital. It's heartening to share with you that from 8 years ago, when only 1 out of 10 internet users in rural India was a woman, today that number is 4 in 10. But access is just the beginning, so we didn't just stop there. And we've been constantly looking at areas where women's representation is lagging behind. This past year, we announced the inaugural cohort of the Google for Startups Accelerator for Indian women founders. Earlier today, Sanjay mentioned how we will be targeting support for early-stage companies with a particular focus on women-led startups as a part of the India Digitization Fund. Our support to women through Women Tech Makers, which encourages girls and women to consider careers in technology, is making progress. And DigiPivot, which specifically supports women returning to work. The list goes on. Google.org has provided more than $6 million in grants in India focused on initiatives for women and girls to promote entrepreneurship, digital skilling, and online safety. And even through our products and our communications, we have consistently looked at challenging the biases that exist in society and have worked hard to build features that can help women get ahead in life. As India's digital journey becomes powered by AI, it's even more crucial that we consciously invest in efforts that ensure that real-life societal biases don't manifest in technology. As we all know, every society and every culture has its own specific set of biases. And in order to mitigate these, the key is context, which is why I'm very proud to announce Project Bindi, an effort to evaluate and mitigate fairness issues in publicly available natural language processing models. This project will allow us to advance research and our knowledge and build understanding of AI models along 3 dimensions: societal context like family structure and education, technological gaps like access, and local culture and norms. Over the last decade of moving the needle on bridging the digital gender gap, we've overcome many challenges. The first step has always been acknowledgement. As we focus on this work, we're humbled by the opportunity to develop an internet that is an experience that offers women the advantages of progress and leaves behind the burdens of bias. As a woman who looks forward to a more equal tomorrow, I'm very optimistic that with information, women will empower themselves with knowledge and opportunity and even search for change today. With that, I will hand it to Liz to tell us more about search.
जब इतना खोजने के बाद हमें आजादी मिली, तो आजादी ने हमसे पूछा, अब क्या खोजोगे? और हमने कहा, हमें खोज है एक ऐसे कल की जिसे हम खुद लिखें, जिसमें सपनों की कोई सीमा ना हो और कोई कदम धीमा ना हो। एक ऐसा कल जो हरा हो, सफेद हो, जिसमें हम दुनिया को जाने।
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
सारे जहां से अच्छा। और दुनिया हमें।
ऑस्कर विनर भानुवत हैया सरकार
हमें खोज है एक ऐसे कल की जहां मिले नई उड़ानें, नई उम्मीदें, नए फसाने, जहां कदमों से मिले कदम, जहां हर घड़ी हर पल रफ्तार पकड़े हम, सुनहरा उज्जवल ऐसा एक कल।
आइडियाज पर इन्वेस्टमेंट का दौर है, स्टार्टअप्स को सपोर्ट करने का दौर है।
75 साल, 140 करोड़ हिंदुस्तानी और अनगिनत सपने। आइए मिलकर जश्न मनाएं इंडिया की इस उड़ान का।
Hello, everyone. Wow, that was such an inspiring video. Namaste, I'm Liz Reed. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be back in India after 5 years. In that time, twice the number of Indians are now using the internet to find information and enrich their daily lives. And it's really exciting to see an incredible digital transformation unfolding here. A great example of how India has embraced this pace of technology can be seen in our Doodle for Google winner, 9-year-old Shluk Mukherjee. He created this doodle to reflect his hopes and dreams for Indians' contribution to the future of humanity. Through Shlook, we can see how across generations, people of India are deeply inspired to transform the world around them. Information and knowledge underpins every transformation story. And that's why, with our work on search, we always come back to Google's timeless mission: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Especially in countries like India, which is so full of potential and opportunities, we really take this mission deeply to heart. We have been consistently investing to enable new ways to access information for over 1 billion people. And India has led the way in adopting many of these innovations. As an example, today India is at the forefront of visual and voice search adoption globally. And there is still so much opportunity to meet people's information needs. With the advances in AI, I truly believe the best of Google Search is yet to come. If we look at information needs, they are inherently complex. So to help people navigate these, we've been focusing on building a search experience that can help everyone interact with technology, just like they would in the real world. We call this making search more natural, more intuitive. And today, we're excited to give you a glimpse into how our investments in AI and machine learning are making search more helpful than ever before in India. We're accomplishing this by doing 3 things. First, we're making it easier for people to search and explore information visually. Second, we're building a more intuitive search experience in Indian languages. And third, we're enhancing our voice capabilities for diverse speakers so they truly can work for everyone. I'll start by showing how we're helping people in India search and explore information more visually. Sometimes it's just really hard to put things into words. For example, you might see an interesting flower and want to know what it's called, but you'd have no idea on how to describe it in text. So we reimagined Google Search with Lens to help you find information about what you see using your camera or an image. And we've seen that being able to search visually is particularly important here in India, where more people use Lens every month than in any other country in the world. However, people explore information in more than one way. We rely on our many senses to help us understand the world around us. And so with the power of AI, we're combining our deep understanding of information across multiple modes to help you ask questions and explore information more naturally than ever. We see this as a new era of search, where you can find what you're looking for by combining images, sound, text, and speech. And a great example of this is with multi-search. In the Google app, you can take a picture or use a screenshot, and then you can add text to your question, just as you might naturally point at something and then ask a question about it to the person next to you. So let's see how it works. Let's say I'm out shopping and I see a beautiful fabric pattern that catches my eye. But I might want to find a dress in that same pattern online, and I couldn't do that by just a picture or words. And so how would I describe this in a search box? So now I can take a picture of the fabric, and Lens does its thing to start with by showing me many similar fabrics. But now with multi-search, I can also add a text query, just add the word dress. And just like that, I can now get to explore many dresses with a similar pattern. Multi-search is available in English today, and we're very excited that we'll be launching this in many Indian languages in the coming year, starting with Hindi. Another critical form of visual information, particularly in India, is video. But what if that thing you're searching for is buried inside the long video? Videos are skimmable, but it's really time-consuming to go back and forth and try and find something specific. Or if you're using an audio transcription, then you have to get the exact word to search. So we've already used advanced AI to identify key moments in videos for you to help. But today we're taking this a step further. We are piloting a new feature that lets you search directly within the videos. Now, when you watch a long video about Agra on your phone, you'll be able to search for anything mentioned in it and find exactly what you're looking for in the moment. For example, in this video, if you want to search for the magnificent Fatehpur Sikri, you'll be able to type in your query and jump directly to that exact second. These are just some of the ways we're helping people search anywhere and anyway. And I'd now like to invite Punish forward to talk about how we're building a more natural and intuitive search experience to solve for India's dynamic language needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Being a Fauji kid and growing up in Air Force stations all over India, I've personally got to interact with people of different languages and different backgrounds. India is one of the most linguistically diverse countries, and bilkul meri tarah, I'm sure many of you speak more than one language. Language needs in India are becoming more dynamic and fluid, with increasing multilingual and mixed language usage across the country. And we are seeing this in people's search experience too. For instance, many people in India often type queries in English, but prefer to see results in their own language. In fact, majority of Google users in India consume more than one language. So we're leveraging our advanced machine learning-based translation models and a cross-language search technology to introduce an India-first innovation, making search result pages bilingual for people who prefer it that way. So let's say a Hindi language speaker wants to understand more about investing in SIPs. Before this launch, they would either get the results only in English, or they would have to type their query in Hindi, which might be hard to type, or they would change their language setting to Hindi. Now, we'll proactively serve high-quality search results in the local language alongside English results within the one box, top stories, and people also ask sections. We've already started rolling this out in Hindi, and we'll be expanding this to other Indian languages, including Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, and Bengali in the coming year. But we aren't just working on text. We're also addressing India's dynamic language needs when it comes to voice. We all know voice-based technologies have had a transformational impact in India. Today, many people, including new internet users, are finding information and getting things done online by simply speaking in their own language. Indians are at the forefront of adopting voice search. The percentage of Indians using voice search queries is nearly twice the global average. We want to help even more people ask questions naturally and intuitively with their voice. Today, we're doing this by solving for mixed language voice searches. For instance, many Hindi language speakers naturally speak English rather than pure Hindi. We want to help these English speakers talk to technology the same way we talk at home. Understanding words in mixed language in a single query and delivering the most relevant results in real time is not an easy challenge for computers. I'm excited to share that voice search can now better understand people who speak in English. We're doing this by combining the power of several statistical models into a large neural network-inspired end-to-end speech recognition model that takes into account the individual's accents, surrounding sounds, context, and speaking styles. For instance, if someone asked, "Sparrow ko kya bolte hain Hindi mein?" Earlier, search result would show you results on, "Is Paris ko kya bolte hain Hindi mein?" But now, we'll be able to better understand and show you the responses in the language that you prefer. And this is not just limited to simple English queries, but even more complex ones. For instance, when you use similar sounding words in Hindi and English in one sentence, cheese kis cheez se banta hai, voice search will still understand your English query and provide you with better accuracy. With that, I'll hand it over to Liz now.
Thank you, Punish. Many people take for granted that when they speak, they will be heard, they'll be understood. But it's estimated that 250 million people worldwide have non-standard speech. For them, communicating with others and being easily understood can be very difficult. And the reality is that while India has a population of over 1 billion people, there are only about 4,000 registered speech-language pathologists, audiologists, and scientists. That's a huge opportunity for speech technology to help. Unfortunately, standard speech recognition models don't work very well for people with non-standard speech. Each person's speech patterns are very different, which makes it difficult for algorithms to understand and interpret them. So following years of research, we decided to create Project Relate, an app that's custom trained to unique speech patterns of people with non-standard speech. The Relate app has 3 built-in features: Listen, Repeat, and Assistant. Listen transcribes the speech in real time. Repeat repeats what the speaker has said in a clear, computerized voice. And Assistant allows users to speak directly to their Google Assistant from within the Relate app. We've been piloting the app with English users in India, and today I'm happy to announce that we're planning to expand this pilot to Hindi users in early 2023. I want to leave you with Chandni's story. She's one of our early users of Project Relate in Hindi, and it's pretty remarkable to listen to her.
मेरी बात समझना आसान नहीं है और कोई ना कोई ऐसा दिलाता है। इसलिए मैं खुद में रहने लगी। आज भी मैं नए लोगों से बात करने में घबराती हूँ।
ये बताती है कि जब ये छोटी थी तो लोग कहते थे कैसी आवाज है, बार बार बोल पाते थे। लोग मजाक उड़ाते थे कि इसकी शादी नहीं होगी। हमारी बेटी के स्कूल की मीटिंग हो गया या डॉक्टर के यहाँ अपॉइंटमेंट लेनी है तो उन चीजों में झिझक रहती है इसको।
मैं ये झिझक छोड़ना आ रही हूँ जो पुरानी लाइफ में पढ़ाई में और भी ज्यादा मदद कर पाऊँ।
और इसी टाइम रिलेट ऐप ट्राई करने इसने शुरू किया है। अब ये ऐप इसे हमारी तरह समझती है और इसके साथ चांदनी अपनी बात नए लोगों को भी समझा सकती है।
इस साइज में और भी कलर है।
इस साइज में और भी कलर है।
नए सेशन की एडमिशन कब है?
नए सेशन के एडमिशन कब है?
जब लोग मेरी बात समझते हैं तो कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है। पीला
पीला पीला
ये मेरे आज और मेरी बेटी के कल के लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है।
Inspiring stories such as Chandni's really motivate us to innovate with AI so we can truly help everyone. We've just shared some incredible ways you can search and explore information visually, in different languages, and through your voice. But we've also heard from you that accessing these tools sometimes isn't as simple as it should be. So we're also bringing these tools right to your fingertips. Today, you can see shortcuts directly under the search bar. So you can remember how can you translate text with your camera, search inside a photo, identify a song, and so much more. This feature is available now on the Google app on iOS devices, and we'll be expanding this to Android phones in the coming months. The many ways Indians have embraced technology to enrich their lives inspires us again and again to innovate and deliver even more meaningful experiences. And we really look forward to continue building the future of search with all of you. With that, I would love to invite Ishan to share more on the magic of YouTube. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ishan John Chatterjee, and the josh and energy of that song captures everything that I wanted to say to you about YouTube. It's a place where technology meets creativity to make a million dreams come true. Now, when I was growing up in Hyderabad in the 1990s, there were only a handful of professions that people aspired to or pursued. But today, that has changed dramatically. Technology, and video in particular, has democratized information and has opened doors to new ways for anyone to make a living, no matter their background, literacy, or language levels. And nowhere is that more evident than on YouTube. By helping Indians to learn, to earn, and to build sustainable businesses, we want to champion socioeconomic progress across all parts of the country. And that's why today, I am so proud to announce that in 2021, YouTube's creative ecosystem supported more than 7.5 lakh full-time jobs and contributed contributed 10,000 crores to India's GDP, as reported by Oxford Economics, one of the world's leading economic advisory firms. Now that is tremendous impact, but it all boils down to our incredible creator community that forms the beating heart of YouTube. And I'm so thrilled that we have some of our YouTube creators here today, right here in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give them a big round of applause? Thank you all for everything that you do and for making YouTube such a vibrant, diverse, and inclusive community. Now today, the content powered by YouTube's creators is consumed by billions of people all over the world. And we recognize that that comes with a responsibility to connect people with helpful, high-quality information. In healthcare, for instance, people are increasingly turning to video. From a 70-year-old matriarch in Kottayam who's interested in learning more about COVID, to a migrant laborer in Delhi who's concerned about the health of his child, Indians are seeking out videos for health queries. And that's why we are partnering with healthcare providers to surface health information that is credible and trustworthy. But it certainly isn't easy for our healthcare partners to create videos across hundreds of conditions in numerous languages. So how can we help them to achieve scale efficiently and cost-effectively? Now, earlier in the day, you heard Manish talk about how AI and ML is making information accessible in more Indian languages. And that's why today we are excited about supporting our healthcare partners on YouTube with Aloud, a new AI ML product incubated within Google, which makes dubbing as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, Aloud transcribes. 2, it translates. And 3, it dubs the original content. And all you have to do is review. And that's all it takes to create multilingual content in very little time at no additional cost. And that's not all. We also want to make it easy for viewers to consume content in their preferred language. With the help of partners like Apollo Hospitals and Max Healthcare, we are beta testing the ability to have a single video with multiple audio tracks in different languages. But rather than telling you about it, let me show you how it works.
So dengue is actually a viral infection that is transmitted by our enemy, the mosquitoes. And
मच्छर द्वारा संचालित होता है। डेंगू के 4 विभिन्न प्रकार हैं। एक विशिष्ट साल के दौरान डेंगू का एक ही वेरिएंट
एका विशिष्ट वर्षात एक डेंगीचा स्ट्रेन सुद्धा संपूर्ण संसर्ग तुमच्या शरीरात पसरवण्यासाठी कारणीभूत ठरतो.
With the help of these tech solutions, healthcare providers can be equipped to take quality information to more people. Moreover, we're incredibly excited about how these features can help democratize other types of information as well. And one area that I'm especially excited about is learning, a top priority for YouTube. As the world's largest platform for education and skilling content, YouTube already helps Indians learn all kinds of things, from algebra to Zumba to everything in between. But to talk more about what we can do together to create rich learning experiences on YouTube, please welcome on stage a leading educator and a YouTube creator, Roshni Mukherjee from Learner Hub. Hi, Roshni. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Can you start by telling everyone a little bit about your story on YouTube?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so delighted to be here today. So to start with, as a child, I always dreamt of being a teacher. So one day I gave up my corporate job and became an educator on the world's largest virtual school, that's YouTube. So I have been here in this space for more than 10 years, have created more than 7,000 videos, trying to make learning more fun and engaging. But I think what I love the most is that I've been able to help so many people across the globe by doing what I always loved to do.
That is incredible, Roshni. But I also know that you are working on something new with YouTube. Can you tell us all about that?
Absolutely. So, people often reach out to creators like us saying that, we want a more structured learning experience on YouTube. And we have, of course, been passing that feedback to YouTube. And looks like YouTube has heard the feedback. And therefore, they have come up with this new feature. So, shall we reveal?
Please, please.
And it's called Courses. I am personally super duper excited about the opportunities that Courses will unlock.
That's great, Roshni. You've had some experience with the product. Can you tell us a little bit more about Courses?
Sure. So we all remember that one teacher in school who would make our least favorite subject at least a little more bearable, who would go out of their ways to make the classroom little more interesting, engaging, and fun, and would always have some extra time to take up that one more question. Now, what if I tell you that every time you come on YouTube to learn, you get a very similar experience, where difficult concepts get simplified, structured, organized, and explained to you one step at a time, where reading materials are available at every step to enhance your learning, where, of course, you can learn in the language of your choice. And all these learning experiences are not just limited to studies or academic content and goes beyond to your vocational interests and hobbies. That's what Courses can do.
Wonderful, Roshni. Courses will soon be available on YouTube in India across all types of learning. And it represents a new monetization option for our creators. Roshni, it was great to learn from you today. Thank you for taking the time. From creating economic impact to democratizing health and learning information, we are committed to empowering those who are creating for India and building India's future. And as we build for that future, we are also determined to uphold the safety and security of all our users. So to tell you more about our efforts in this space, let me hand it over to my colleague, Royal Hansen.
I love that song. It almost makes me want to learn to dance to it, but it's a great video, and it demonstrates how we've fundamentally reshaped our entire architecture to respond to an evolving threat landscape over the years. This timeline on the screen demonstrates just how much we've evolved over the past 20 plus years to keep you safe. Today, we're continuing to innovate to protect you, so every day you're safer with Google. Our responsibility in keeping users and the internet safe starts with security. I'm Royal Hansen, and I lead the privacy, safety, and security engineering team for Google. My team of engineers and security experts make sure that everyone who depends on Google's products, services, and infrastructure is protected against bad actors. You heard a lot today about the great work we're doing in building future-forward technologies into our systems, especially in the field of artificial intelligence. I'd like to take you through more about what this means for our technology that keeps you safe. We do this by using a combination of AI and human intelligence to achieve scalable and efficient threat detection and response, which keeps consumers, companies, and countries safe around the world. This matters, especially in India, as the internet has been at the center of India's fast-growing digital and economic trajectory. This growth was accelerated during COVID, as more people around the world came to depend upon the internet. This reliance on online services created a wide threat landscape and more opportunities for bad actors to take advantage of online users. So the work we do to keep people safe online has never been as important as it is today, because we depend on digital conveniences for everything we do. For consumers, this means ensuring people can navigate the internet securely and have access to quality information. For businesses, it can mean secure payment processing when customers order online and ensuring your business isn't compromised. For governments, it means securing critical infrastructure, citizens' information, and defending against misinformation campaigns. As the number of digital users grows in India, threats have not only become more complex, it can also become difficult to detect. Analyzing and improving cybersecurity across surfaces is no longer a human-scale problem. It needs to be supplemented with sophisticated technology. AI can help respond to these unprecedented challenges efficiently, effectively, and at scale. At Google, AI is foundational to what we're doing across all of our products, and we've got some of the brightest engineers in the world working on our leading-edge AI tools. By the way, these people that you see here, they are Googlers from our India office working on this. We look at it like a digital immune system. We're not just fighting off colds and the flu, we're also learning from them and building our defenses. With investment in our digital health, our systems become stronger to protect against, anticipate, and predict future attacks. They also learn from patterns and prevent the next attack from taking place. Here are some examples of our AI security at work. Now, this isn't the stuff of the future. This is the stuff we're doing right now to protect you. We design products that are secure by default, detecting and blocking threats before they ever reach our users. Security starts with our infrastructure by building automatic protections across our products and ecosystems to deliver safe experiences to all users through every email they send, every time they purchase with GPay, every time they see a video on YouTube, share a favorite photo, or download an app that's been scanned by the Play Store. You know, today my phone rang and I knew not to pick it up because my Android phone alerted me that it was spam. And so much more that happens seamlessly in the background. We also offer added protection through two-step verification, or 2SV, a critical way to protect your accounts and help prevent cyber attacks right now. And we're making it easier for Indians to activate 2SV by making it available on Assistant in Hindi. We use the power of AI to surface the most authentic and quality information. Finding abusive content can be like finding a needle in a haystack. AI systems are particularly effective at parsing through the flood of signals to flag spam, hate speech, and other bad content. By investing in these automated detection systems, we're able to remove violative content, suspend spam accounts, raise up authoritative voices, reduce the spread of problematic content, and systematically raise the barrier to entry for bad actors. But success is still highly dependent on context, where we depend on human review to make nuanced decisions. At YouTube, for instance, people and machines work together to efficiently remove and reduce the spread of problematic content. Take, for example, our Trusted Flaggers program, where we work with experts to identify bad content around complex issues like hate speech, radicalization, and child safety. We're also thrilled to now work alongside the Public Health Foundation of India to advise us on our policies and flagging content on the complex topic of medical misinformation. This approach has been critical in keeping views of harmful content low while preserving free expression on our platform. We also develop advanced capabilities to help raise the security bar for the entire industry. One example of this is our recent acquisition of Mandiant, which offers cutting-edge AI-driven cyber threat intelligence. Combined with our existing security solutions, we're able to deliver even better end-to-end security capabilities. We know we can't beat tomorrow's threats with today's tools. That's why in 2021, we pledged to invest $10 billion in global cybersecurity innovation. These are just a few of the examples of how we're using artificial intelligence to improve our automated defenses while democratizing access to the best threat intelligence and built-in threat detections and responses. Google is making investments in this work because we are committed to doing more proactively to protect our users and drive a new era in cybersecurity. We do it because it's our responsibility to ensure that users and their loved ones are safe when using our products and services. This inherent sense of responsibility is why we keep people safe online in the world. But the internet is a multi-stakeholder system, which requires cooperation among us all. And that is especially true in India, an innovation powerhouse with a vibrant, fast-growing digital ecosystem. A few months ago, we announced at a Google event, we made a series of commitments to make the internet even more helpful and safer for Indians. We committed to supporting local community organizations, investing in user awareness, and prioritizing cybersecurity skilling. Today, I am proud to announce that so far we have trained more than 40,000 developers since the beginning of October, giving them the critical knowledge, tools, and awareness to build safety and security from the get-go. We do this because it is our firm belief that building a safer internet for everyone is not one more thing to do. It is the one thing to do together. And like I said at the beginning, our responsibility in keeping users on the internet safe starts with security. Now I'll hand it over to Sharath to talk about how we are ensuring safety in digital payments with Google Pay.
Thanks, Royal. And a very warm welcome to all of you joining us at Google for India 2022. This year, Google Pay completes 5 years in India, and it's been a wonderful journey. With UPI, digital payments overnight became accessible for millions of novice users. who were otherwise daunted by the task of transacting online. Novice users expect digital payments to feel as intuitive and natural as the cash in their pocket. And that's been an exciting challenge for us. Digital payments need to be a facility that makes life simpler, not a skill to be mastered. For this to happen, it's important that users feel safe while transacting and in control of their spends, which is why new features like Google Pay's transaction search are important. It allows users to voice their queries in natural language. For example, I could say, grocery spends last week, and Google Pay automatically understands the different parts of my query as time periods, categories, and merchants, and presents the relevant results in a simple, intuitive way. No setting filters or choosing dates, just a simple, natural experience. This simplicity helps users feel confident about digital payments. But more importantly, confidence in digital payments requires users to feel safe while transacting. As we know, sometimes when we handle money on the phone, it can feel prone to human error. Our challenge was, how do we ensure that users stay safe while transacting online? To understand this better, let me call on my colleague Shweta, one of the engineers building Google Pay.
Hey, Sharad.
Hey, Shweta. Hey, this morning I received a message on my phone about a pending car insurance payment. I'm not feeling sure about it.
Well, these things happen sometimes. It's possible our users are not always alert. And these are the times when fraudsters get lucky.
So how do we make sure that we are alert while transacting?
Well, we make it less easy for them to transact. I know that sounds odd because after all, tech is about making things easier and not harder. But in this case, a slight delay, a slight nudge to double check is a very good thing. We call it desirable friction.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Among the millions of transactions that happen on Google Pay every day, there could be some that are initiated by fraudsters. As soon as a transaction is initiated, Google Pay checks its safety engine to determine if the transaction is safe. This is not as easy as it looks. The safety engine looks at hundreds of signals that analyze aggregate transaction patterns of millions of users. It also looks at a graph of billion notes to see if the recipient raises any flags for previous suspicious behavior. The graph and signals are getting updated regularly to keep up with newer patterns. If our machine learning algorithm determines that the transaction is suspicious, it flashes a warning in your most preferred language. And all that in just milliseconds. But sometimes we need to go a step further.
A step further?
We literally nudge our users to think twice with haptic feedback, kind of like this. And we give them some extra time to think, like 3, 2, 1, and act. So in this way, tech under the hood is working around the clock to keep our users safe.
Thanks, Shweta.
Thank you.
A great example. A great example of introducing desirable friction to ensure the ultimate goal of user safety. Technology's job is to ensure that systems and applications speak the user's language, not the other way around. And often the most innocuous needs can push us to write the next chapter in technology's helpfulness. With that, I'd like to hand over to Ram and the Android team, who are solving for challenges that all of us can relate to. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you, Shweta and Sharad. I love how AI is being used to deliver safer experiences. Hi, I'm Ram, and I lead the Android engineering team. My team has a clear focus to make the internet safer and helpful for 1 billion Indians. Let's talk about documents. We now use our smartphones to store documents, including government IDs. Over time, these start to accumulate on our devices. I'm sure all of you can relate to that problem. Yeah, I see some head nodding. By the way, so does my mom. Let's take a quick peek at her device. Wow, that's 1, 2, 3 copies of her PAN card in 3 different locations. I think we can agree it's messy. So Mom, I hope you're watching this live because my team was convinced we could solve this challenge. So I'm happy to announce an advanced AI solution to identify and recognize these important documents on your phone. Let's see this in action. The model simply scans your phone and finds the most important documents. By the way, it also recognizes government-issued documents like Aadhaar and PAN and arranges them into neatly labeled folders. And if you're like me, if you're the one that takes care of your family's documents, we got you covered. Safety was a big part of the design process for this feature. Only you can access these documents, and all of our machine learning models run on the device. So no one, nor Google, nor third-party apps can view these files. And of course, they're all behind a screen lock. But we didn't stop here. We thought, wouldn't it be really great if people also had access to their verified government documents? So we reached out to the DigiLocker team. And to tell you more about our collaboration with the National E-Governance Division, I'd like to invite Shri Abhishek Singh.
Thank you, Ram. We appreciate this partnership between National E-Governance Division at the Ministry of Electronics and IT and Google. Our vision is to drive digital transformation through paperless and hassle-free governance to enable ease of living and accelerate the realization of Digital India mission across India. Honorable Prime Minister launched DigiLocker under the Digital India program in 2015 to provide access to authentic digital documents in the form of a digital document wallet. Today, DigiLocker has over 13.7 crore, that's 137 million, registered users, and more than 2,300 issuers have issued more than 5.6 billion documents. Beyond being accessible at any time, from anywhere, the greatest advantage of these digitally issued documents is that they are digitally verifiable and are legally at par with original physical documents as per the IT Act of 2000. Moreover, there is no need to carry physical documents now. They enable us to ensure speedy delivery of government benefits across healthcare, financial inclusion, education, and many more. The government is cognizant of the role that key partnerships can play in democratizing these benefits for all our citizens. As an important and responsible tech player in the country, Google continues to offer helpful products and services to millions of Indians. We expect that this integration of DigiLocker and Google will drive smoother and ubiquitous access to digital documents in a safe and secure manner for all our users. We look forward to more collaboration with Google as we strive to improve the lives of our citizens going ahead. And hopefully very soon, the DigiLocker app would also become a part of the Android ecosystem, so all phones with Android will have DigiLocker inbuilt in them. Thank you. Thank you for this partnership.
Really exciting. Thank you, Shri Abhishek Singh, for the partnership and collaboration. We look forward to rolling out these benefits soon, including the DigiLocker integration with the Files by Google app on your Android smartphones. We're so excited, and my entire Android team is committed to launching many more India-first experiences. With that, up next, we have a very special segment lined up for you. Let me welcome Shraddha Sharma from Your Story to share more.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shraddha Sharma. I'm the founder and CEO of Your Story. As someone who's chronicled the Indian startup story today is a very, very special day for all of us, and then you'll know why. Today, I have the unique privilege to introduce to all of you two people who don't need any introduction. One has the responsibility of making Digital India a reality, a living hope, a living vision for 1.4 billion people of our country. And the other is an inspiration to young India and leads the world's most innovative company. Without much further ado, may I welcome on stage the Honorable Minister of Railways, Communication, Electronics and Information and Technology, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, and Shri Sundar Pichai, founder and CEO of Google and Alphabet. Let's give them a big round of applause. Welcome to both of you. I'd like to begin by taking both of you down the memory lane, and to start by asking if you could recollect one memorable experience from your days in IIT.
First?
Yes, sir.
Well, at IIT Kanpur, we had a very good computer lab, but the time that was given for programming to every student was always very, very limited. So I used to buy time from others. I'll solve others' problems and take their time. That was real fun.
I think I was about to say a story about how I used to have 2 rasagollas every day, but now that he spoke about computers, you're right. The access to computing at that time, I think, was very difficult. But it's amazing how the world has changed. But for me, fond memories of friends, and I met my wife there, so that's what I remember most about IIT.
That is the most memorable. You've created memory there. Yeah. In the last few years, the vision of a digital India has truly taken center stage. And all of us today, all of us in this room are witness to it, a participant to it. Looking forward, Sir, Honorable Minister, I want to ask you, what would be some of the priorities, what would be some of the focus area for the government? And particularly today, if I may ask, looking at the digital world we all are living in, what are some of the, how are you focusing on cybersecurity?
Quite a few priorities. See, over last 8 years, the vision of Digital India has really taken us to a level where we have a very successful, absolutely scalable India stack. And that India stack helped us manage something as big as the pandemic, using the CoWIN platform, which used all the horizontal constructs of the India stack. We were able to deliver vaccines to 1 billion plus people, actually 2.2 billion vaccine doses. Scheduling for that scale with all the logistics challenges that we had, right? And giving the certificate instantaneously. It was a massive work, and that was only possible because of the technology stack. Having the payment system that we have today, the UPI payment system, phenomenally successful. As we speak, it is almost like India's 55% of India's GDP transactions are today happening on the UPI, the payment platform that we have, right? So similar digital platforms we will keep on building for health system, for logistics, for many other sectors. That's one part. Second part, we'll be taking the startup ecosystem to tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, we see so much talent coming out of smaller cities and towns. So we would try to channelize that. Third, we will be focusing on so India has been ranked as #1 talent concentration geography for AI, right? So very recently in the Network Readiness Index, India was ranked as #1 on the talent concentration for AI. So we would like to channelize that through very stable, a very good, very comprehensive legal and regulatory ecosystem.
Thank you, sir. Sundar, today all of us and then everyone here in some way is a participant to this. Also, India has a very fast growing startup economy, startup ecosystem. We have some phenomenal entrepreneurs, and Google has played an active role in nurturing this ecosystem. Going forward, I would like to ask you, how do you see the digital India playing a role in the growth of the startup economy here in our country?
First of all, thanks for having us. It's an honor to have Minister Vaishnaw here as well. Real pleasure to be here. Every time I come, the sophistication of the India startup ecosystem, it's measurably improving. Part of what we have done with the India Digitization Fund is increasingly focusing on our investments towards startups from India, like Glance. And these companies are getting noticeable scale. And increasingly, as you heard earlier, we have announced a $300 million fund with a focus. 1/4 of the fund will go towards startups led by women or startups which are focused on bridging the gender divide. I think, to me, the opportunity India has, if you look at the US as a market, the reason startups are successful is when they build something, they have an access to a 300 million plus market. And it's easy to build something which scales across the entire country. This hasn't always been true in places like Europe, because you have to scale across 26 markets, and it's tough for a startup to get that scale. I think that's the opportunity India has. How do you make sure a startup can easily scale across the entirety of an Indian market? So I think those are all ways by which policies can help, and we can play a role as well. But there is no better time to do a startup than the current moment. Even though we are working through a macroeconomic moment like this, companies like Google were created in moments of a downturn. So I think I'm very bullish about it over time.
Sundar, I have to say this as a woman entrepreneur, that it's very, very encouraging that you're saying that, the fund will also focus on women-led businesses. And I just saw some of you clapping, but Zordar, dil se tali ho sakti hai, because it is a very, very significant moment for our country, for women. And we need more women entrepreneurs. Honorable Minister, as we look forward, we are seeing AI emerge as one of the, an important emphasis for the government and area and priority. Honorable Prime Minister talked about it, and we've seen a lot of focus there. What are some of the areas AI that you're keen to nurture through the government?
So AI is going to play a very big role in India's tech story going forward. There are multiple number of fields, multiple number of areas in which AI is going to make a significant difference. Agriculture is one such field. The diversity of languages that we have, how do we bridge the gap between people who speak one language and the other? That's going to be second. Then making credit accessible to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. That's going to be a major, major task ahead, in which we will be using AI. And that's going to ride on the success that we have already had in terms of the payment system, the identity system, and a very rapid adoption of technology across different sections of the society and across all geographies. So we are going to use all these things. And once we have our data protection bill and the telecom bill and the Digital India bill in place, then it creates a robust framework in which we can use some of the data sets which are available, public data sets, and then use them and harness the power of technology to provide better solutions, better services. And our focus is always, see, the rich people can always take care of themselves, right? Our focus is always on the middle class and the poorer sections of the society. As government, we are very keen to make sure that every section of the society, marginalized sections of the society, they are able to get the benefits of technology the way some of us who are better endowed, similar level of technology benefits, they should also be able to get. So we'll be focusing on AI, multiple sectors as well as different sections of the society.
Thank you. Yeah. Sundar, you have once said that AI, and I'll read this, is one of the most profound technologies we are working on, as important or more than fire and electricity. And today we saw and we heard about the interesting applications of AI that has been used. If you were to choose which area of AI's impact excites you the most?
I think it'll touch every sector over time. And so, but for us, core to our mission, people come to Google to find information. So where I get most excited is how we can use AI in that service of that mission. One of our key parts of our mission is to make Google universally accessible and useful. We are increasingly use AI to scale up the number of languages we can offer. We recently added 9 new Indian languages, Assamese, Bhojpuri, Konkani, etc. Now we are working on one powerful AI model which can, bring information across 1,000 languages. So all that we can use to make sure it's available to more people. But over time, I think the biggest change is, as humans, we look at the world around us, we listen to what's happening, you see with your eyes, and then that's how you consume information. So being able to bring all that, we call this multimodal, and bring that view when you ask a question to Google, and then get that rich answer back, is what I think AI will end up playing a role. Whether you're showing an image or you look at something and say, tell me about this. We want to bring all that as experiences to our users. And I think AI will end up playing a powerful role, and I'm very excited about it.
Minister, all of us are very proud of India Stack, and especially all of us in the tech ecosystem. We have something to say because India Stack leads the world story when it comes to the use of technology for public good. I want to ask you, what role do you envisage the private sector playing in delivering the India Stack to other emerging economies to help them unlock the economic potential of it, especially when it comes to digital public infrastructure in terms of payments and health?
So the interest on India Stack is there throughout the world. So it's a very unique way of looking at developing technology and taking it to the society, right? Multiple number of small constructs which put together can create a great solution. We believe that in this entire development of India Stack, the role of private sector is very, very important, because the government is providing the platform. On top of this platform, any startup, any private sector entity, big, large, small, medium, any size, they can join it, and they can create their own solutions which meet their requirements. So for example, the payment is a very good solution. a very good example. The payment system, from a very small startup payment guy to a big established bank like a State Bank of India, right? They're all on the same platform which government has provided. So our thought process is that we provide the platform and the private sector starts using that platform to build new solutions. So I think not only in the emerging economies, but also in well-developed, very advanced economies also, people are showing a lot of interest in it. We have MOUs on payment system itself with about 30 odd countries by now. And private sector will play a very big role in, let's say somebody wants to have similar identity system in, let's say France, a digital identity system, right? So our companies can go there, work with their governments, work with their public institutions, work with their regulatory systems, and over a very long period, develop a trusted solution for other countries.
Yeah, this is very, very encouraging and a matter of pride for all of us. Yeah. Sundar, I have to ask you this. We grew up in an India where we were very happy about, importing from the world. But increasingly, we are living in an India which is exporting to the world. And we are really, genuinely very proud of Made in India tag. I want to ask you, how do you look at this trend and how do you see this continuing and furthering?
Look, it's an incredible opportunity. The minister spoke about the depth and the breadth of talent available in the country. In our experience, we see that playing out in Google. We saw the opportunity on top of UPI. In fact, I used the UPI example in other countries around the world. I think, the fact that you can, the way the COVID relief funds show up in an individual's accounts instantly, it's remarkable. And, we built Google Pay in India based on the UPI stack. And now we are bringing that to other countries around the world. There are many more examples of it. We used AI technology to develop flood forecasting for India and then later Bangladesh. This is an alert which gets sent out to 23 million people every year. Now we are bringing it to many, many more countries around the world. So I think you will see this trend grow over time. And, with the scale of the market here, being able to find a solution. And in many cases in India, you can leapfrog and get to the next solution faster. So I think it'll be a big incentive for us to do it here and then take it to other countries, which sometimes are slower to go through these phases. So I see this trend as something which will be increasing over time.
I just think that, this is a conversation we are all very happy to have, no? So we can give, if you want to clap, clap with full energy. Minister, in a fast digitizing economy like us, having robust regulations and frameworks becomes very important for secure, safe, and also transparent use of internet. What are some of the areas that are important for you? How do you see this emerging in the future?
Listen, in my view, humanity has created institutions and structures throughout its whatever number of 1,000 years it has existed. And with each change in technology, each big quantum jump that happens in the way we live, new challenges come up, right? And we have to find out ways and means by which we create a very balanced way of absorbing technology, because technology brings many new opportunities with it. It also brings many new challenges with it. And in today's world where information is ubiquitous, in India, the cost of data is so low and adoption of technology is so rapid. In this kind of scenario, how do we create a legal and regulatory structure which is in tune with times, which matches India's needs, which is built around our realities? So that's the way we are working, and Prime Minister has given us a very clear target of creating a comprehensive legal regulatory framework. So we are creating 3 horizontals. First is the telecom bill, which is for the carrier. Second is the digital protection bill, which is focused around enforcing citizens' privacy rights. And third is the Digital India bill, which is going to look at practically everything else which is required to be seen. These are the 3 horizontals, on top of which will be multiple small sectoral focused modular regulations. So it's a very comprehensive outlook. We should be able to complete this exercise in the coming 14 to 16 months. The 2 bills which have been put up for consultation should be completed by July, August. It should pass the parliament. And we have a very open process of consultation with all the stakeholders. Our teams are giving time. I and my ministerial colleagues, both of us are, all of us are giving a lot of time on consultation, on understanding what people's concerns are. So net, the solution which is emerging is really good. And most people who have interacted so far with us have shown that, have kind of expressed that this kind of template is needed in many other economies which are rapidly getting digitized.
Thank you. Sundar, looking at the global landscape, what's Google's view on India's tech regulations?
Look, I think, if you look at the scale at which tech is working, and it's so touching the lives of, people around the world, to me, it makes sense that, tech needs responsible regulation. I think it's important for countries to think about how to best safeguard its citizens, be it privacy, be it security. And so I think it's an important phase. And, so we are engaging constructively. I think India has a leadership role to play here. Again, given the scale and the technology leadership it will have. And it's important to make sure you're balancing, and putting in safeguards for people. You're creating innovative framework so that companies can innovate, on top of a certainty in the legal framework. So I think it's an important moment in time. But through it all, hopefully India can also be a voice for, India will also be a big export economy, will benefit from a open and connected internet. And I think getting that balance right, I think will be important.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we are running on time and we can continue doing this conversation, but before we close, one final question to both of you. The tech sector is growing at a phenomenal pace in our country, and I'm again going to say we are very proud participant, witness, and in some ways all of us builders of it. If you had to, both of you had to give advice to the next generation, which is entering this space, the tech space, what would you say?
I would say that think on population scale, think on global scale, because all the constructs, all the basic components which are needed for creating a very humongously big scale solution are today available. So don't think small, think big.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I would also say for young people, tech is much broader than just programming or engineering alone. I think for tech to work at scale, including things like AI, thinking about the surrounding areas, be it policy, be it ethics, so just thinking about tech holistically, I think will create opportunities for many more people. So, the more people can get involved across all walks of life, I think tech will be better for society.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Minister, for taking our time to be here. I always say that it shows the commitment to be involved in the tech and the startup econ, to building this. Thank you for taking our time. And Sundar, thank you so much for inspiring all of us. Thanks a lot. Before both of you go, can I ask you for a photo ops, please? Yes.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.